5 things you need to know about authenticity. Mahatma Gandhi exhorted us to be the change you want to see in the world. What does this mean in leadership and management terms? Don't shift the blame. Some managers spend a great deal of their time criticizing others. The people who report to them, their peers, their boss, colleagues in other departments, suppliers and customers, believing that everyone else is to blame for poor performance. People seldom flourish in such a toxic culture, and we need to challenge this kind of negativity, perhaps starting with ourselves. Mind your language. What do you tell yourself? Is your internal dialogue sprinkled with words like can't, won't and fail? Or can, will and succeed? This will have a strong influence on the outcomes of your actions. We can see this in many walks of life, for example in sport. Imagine a golfer lining up an 18-foot putt and saying inwardly, "I'll never sink this." Or a goalkeeper facing a penalty kick and saying, "I won't even bother trying to save it." Check your thinking. We all have the power of choice, the ability to select our response to external stimuli and circumstances, and control our environment rather than have it control us. If this sounds a bit far-fetched, consider the effect you will have on others if you are continually negative. You are likely to get negative responses, which in turn will elicit further negativity, and so on in a downward negative spiral. Where this happens, people begin to avoid each other, and the situation can only get worse. Of course, the opposite applies when people relate to each other in a positive way. This is particularly important for managers and leaders at all levels, but it doesn't mean being falsely positive all the time. We all have our less positive moments, which is only natural, but the ability to catch yourself being negative puts you in a good position to deal with it. Take a look at yourself. Imagine seeing yourself in a video as you go about your daily life. What do you see and hear? Is the person in the video talking about failure or success, about problems or opportunities, about fears and doubts, or about hopes, aspirations and commitment? What you tell yourself inside your own head will almost inevitably seep into what you tell others and how you respond to what they tell you. Coming across as negative most of the time is hardly the way to make friends and influence people, and it will have a serious effect on the results you get as a leader and manager. Ask. If people are not performing as well as you would like them to, in the results they achieve, their approach to teamwork, their attendance and timekeeping, failure to work to quality standards or their general demeanour, it's worth asking yourself whether it might be something to do with the signals you are giving off. It can help to ask for some constructive feedback from those you feel able to approach, but don't bother doing this unless you are willing to hear some awkward truths. Prepared to give serious thought to the feedback and committed to change if necessary. Remember that feedback is a gift because it takes courage to give it honestly and constructively, and you should accept and appreciate it in that spirit. In summary, some managers spend too much time criticizing others and shifting the blame for their own poor performance. Your internal dialogue will influence the results you achieve. We all have the power of choice, the ability to react appropriately by selecting our response to external stimuli and circumstances. If your people are not performing as well as you would like them to, it's worth considering whether it might be something to do with the signals you are giving off. It might also help to ask for some constructive feedback. It takes courage to give it honestly and constructively, and it can really help you improve your approach to leadership and management.